Alright, I've been trying to put up a video for a while. I'm gonna be honest, I get super lazy when it comes to this. For whatever reason, it's the hardest job you could ask me to do. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I'm just saying, getting home after work or after the gym or after whatever and fiddling with this. I'm sure you've noticed, it's pretty much why I don't edit anything. I just slap it on there. If there's a or a pause or anything, you're probably gonna see it on there. Today's topic, right now's topic, is kind of short, but just regular rants. I'm gonna call this segment. Just things that bug me, things that annoy the crap out of me. We were looking back at fight scenes in movies, good fight scenes, bad fight scenes. If you guys know anything about, if anyone knows anything about fighting, a bad fight scene will just ruin the whole scene, even the whole movie. Two examples. One, no one says anything about. The other one, no one says anything about, but they're not supposed to. It's a comedy movie. It's comedy. It's not. It's got Aziz Ansari in it, so it's not supposed to be serious or taken serious. In that example, I think 30 Minutes or Less with Jesse Eisenberg and Aziz Ansari. Topic of the movie. Pizza delivery guy gets strapped with a bomb and asked to steal money, I think. I don't know. I saw it some time ago. In the beginning, 10 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there, ex-best friends now turned frenemies. Jesse Eisenberg's character, don't know his name. Aziz Ansari's character, don't know his name. They start bickering about life and bitching about everything and how complaining isn't getting you anywhere. Then they start getting at each other by things they did in their childhood to ruin the other person's day or life. I don't remember. So they start fighting in, I think, Aziz's apartment. I don't know whose apartment it is. They start fighting. Supposedly real fighting. But it ends when Aziz's character throws on this really bogus choke. I think it was their example of a rear naked. In case you don't know what that is when the guy doing the choke is behind the guy being choked, throws an arm under the chin, around the neck, and squeezes the consciousness or the air, depending on how you choke, out of the other person. Man, there's a lot more traffic than usual right now. Right, there's 3 cars in front of me, 1 car behind me. Usually I see 1 car, period, or no cars at all. Anyways, the choke is bogus. What the hell is he? You see that yellow light? I mean, you see that green? 2 cars went, and 1 car ate it and still went. Well, he throws on this bogus choke. Only the choking arm is in place. There's no, if I recall, there's no other arm putting pressure or pulling said arm back. So just 1 arm. It's clearly not under the chin. It's not on the neck, the throat area. And he's explaining it while he's doing it. It's terrible. I know it's a comedy movie. You're not supposed to take it serious. So I put an asterisk on it. But to me, the viewer, it threw me off. Like, I've seen enough fights. I've watched enough fighting. I've tried enough a few martial arts, and I've definitely tried grappling. And I know, like, now, listen, the disclaimer here is I'm no professional by any means. Not a black belt, not a purple belt, not a blue belt, brown, whatever, in anything. But I've tried it. So, I respect it. I respect it enough to where it kills me if I see it done wrong. And they do it terrible. But it's a comedy movie, so you hate it. I hated it, but hey, look. Whatever. Now, the second example, and this one no one acknowledges, and I think is just shenanigans to the highest degree. In Avengers, in the beginning of the movie, they have Scarlett Johansson's character, the Black Widow. They have her tied up in a chair. the Russians, and they're interrogating her. And it looks like they've been giving her a rough time. But according to the story, or to the movie, she's just been playing this whole time. At any moment, she could have broken out, gotten loose, and gotten away, done whatever she wanted. So when she finally decides to do so, when S.H.I.E.L.D. or Stark or whoever call her and they say, hey, look, Black Widow, time to get to work. You've had your fun. Let's go. And she says, okay, let me just finish up here, and I'm on my way. She breaks out of the chair in some, I guess, parts warehouse, some sort of warehouse. She breaks out of the chair and starts beating up on these guys with her crafty maneuvers and her skills that she's acquired over a long period of time. She breaks out and she starts fighting these guys, but there's this one scene in particular. You can tell when it's even slightly legitimate fighting. But there's a scene where she's sitting in the chair. Some guy, or she's standing up, maybe, I don't know. Some guy comes up behind her and she throws her head back really hard and she hits him in the face, presumably the nose, and breaks it. The guy's like, ah. But to me, that's, I'd say that's the worst scene I'd ever seen. The worst clip, the worst segment. She hits him with what? Her hair? The back of her head? If anyone's watched any real combat fights, the back of the head is one of the most protected spots ever. Fighters who hit the back of the head will be warned not to. Fighters who continue to do it will lose points. They'll get disqualified. You're not supposed to target the back of the head. It's one of the most sensitive spots. I'm no doctor, scientist here. What I have understood is it's just one of the last spots to really solidify, or I don't know. Just, it's a really sensitive spot. The back of the head. The top, the back, the cone, that segment in the back of the head. I guess where the hair starts to spiral. I don't know what it's called or how it's located, but you definitely know it's one of the most sensitive spots on the body. One of the most protected spots in combat sports, and if you've ever been hit there, you know why. Not only does that shit hurt, quite simply, it will put you out a lot faster than a lot of other things. It will mess up your day. I've only suffered impact there on a short amount of occasions, but hey man, you're seeing stars, you don't know what's going on, you're not thinking straight, it'll mess up your day. If you're in a fight and that happens, you're like, wait a minute, sorry attackers or opponent, where the hell am I? What just happened? Sometimes you lose consciousness, sometimes you don't, but even when you don't know what's going on. It'll mess up your day. It'll go through some time if you're concussed. Now, if that happens in the middle of a fight, what? So I'm supposed to believe Scarlett Johansson's character has either beat this guy up with her hair, because she throws her hair back and you see this whoosh, and the guy's like, oh, what'd she hit him with? What did she hit him with? So, either A, her hair, B, that spot in the head, which I call absolute bogus bullshit, BS. None of that's real. She will, if she hit him that hard enough to break his nose, look, I get it. If you're in a life and death situation, if you're, I don't know, if someone's trying to abduct you and they some big dude clasps his hands around you and he's taking you into his van of doom, by all means do whatever you can to get out of that situation. Yeah, scratch, bite, even if it puts you at risk in a slight amount, yes, that's where it makes sense, because you're trying to escape with your life. You're not trying to defeat an opponent. You're trying to deter him from attacking and run. That's where that makes sense. But in this fight scene where an ultra professional ex-assassin turned superhero by means of no superpowers, that's her go-to. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Option C, she hides something in her hair. Maybe like a steel plate or something that they missed. Maybe there's a needle. Maybe there's something there. And maybe, I don't know, the crazy Russian theory of that era, like the Winter Soldier, is maybe they put a steel plate in the back of her head. I don't know. If you've ever seen Perfect Getaway or Perfect Vacation, I think it's Perfect Getaway with Timothy Oliphant and Steve Zahn, where one guy's a crazy killer and the other guy's like ex-special forces, and they're in Hawaii with their respective wives, but crazy killer's with his crazy killer wife, and ex-special forces is with just his regular girlfriend. And ex-special forces talks about all these crazy life stories that sound made up, but it turns out they're all real, or majority of them. Yeah, he had in the story, he had a grenade blow up, and they had to put a plate in the back of his head, and he gets shot in the head by Steve Zahn, but nothing happens because Steve Zahn didn't believe the stories, and it turns out the stories are real. He does have a steel plate in his head. So maybe Scarlett Johansson has a steel plate in her head from a grenade blowing up near her, or the Russians in the comics did that to her to make her tougher so that she doesn't have that weak spot, or that's like option D, right behind hold something in her hair made of steel, because there's a whipping thing from the hair that seemed to have thrown the guy off. So I want to say D before C, but from the visual, C seems to have some relevance. Alright guys, not the point. Best fight scene ever. I'll keep this short. To me, even with minor shaky cam, Jason Bourne versus the Middle Eastern assassin, I assume, in the Bourne Ultimatum. The assassin's been told to kill, I forget her name, Julia something. Julia's character, Julia Stiles. Jason Bourne's gonna go rescue her. They're both going through apartments trying to catch this woman. Assassin's gonna do his job. He's closing in. He's about to kill her. Jason Bourne's running through buildings and apartments to get to this place. He jumps into the apartment just as she is about to get killed, and they put a beat down on each other. It is the best mix of real fighting and probably choreographed fighting. You can tell that, I mean, obviously, because certain movie martial arts don't really work in the real world, for anyone who knows, but it's the best mix of fighting because it's theatrical enough to where it gets your attention. There's enough flips and kicks and this and that, but it's also raw. Like, there are scenes where you can tell they're just trying to kill each other. They are grabbing random items to beat each other with them. I think Matt Damon grabs some phone book, and he starts hitting them in the face with it. And then he starts hitting them through the book, which doesn't make much sense, but I guess if you can't see a punch coming because there's a book in your way, it's in your face, you're just going to receive punches through a phone book, which makes some sense. But then he starts hitting them with the phone book. They just start beating each other with anything. They're trying to apply movie martial arts and actual fighting. Like, the guys just pick up random rod, hit opponent with it. Pick up piece of glass, try to stab him. That kind of logic. Spoiler alert, but it's super old, so it doesn't matter. He ends up beating him by choking him with a shower curtain, and I don't know, it's the best fight scene. The shaky cam isn't awful. It lets you know that there's a certain, I don't know the word right now off the top of my head, urgency, there we go, to the matter, but it is the best fight scene I've seen to date. There's another fight scene, I can't remember where, and this one's for the ladies because we don't give them enough credit when they choreograph them well. But there's I forgot, it was TV or a movie, I don't remember where they choreographed the fights. They applied good submission techniques, appropriate chokes, like all of it looked real. And I have to give credit to the choreographer and the women for trying it, for allowing it, because some of these, even if they're not really applied seriously, they scare you. Like if you feel a dangerous person apply this crazy choke on you, and even if they're just demonstrating, you're like, hey man, if this guy decides not to release me as agreed, I'm done. So man, when I think of that example, if I ever follow this video up with anything, I'll include it. But yeah, that's to the worst fight scenes, one of the best fight scenes. Credit to Matt Damon, that the other actor, I don't want to disrespect where he's from or the name of whatever, so just credit to you. Julia Stiles for, even in the movie, taking a punch or a kick. Best fight scene to this day. I haven't seen one to beat it yet. That's it for today, guys. Shit. Maybe I might put something else out. Who knows? Well, if I even put these up, like, you see the post dates, they're sporadic and they're not edited. So that's all I got for you so far.